Well, I am sitting here on a Sunday night and I got wet hair, no makeup on, and my pajamas. Seems to be a theme for these videos. Another theme lately seems to be that I am working super late tonight. I am trying so hard to play catch up on so many obligations, which in my world typically means immigration reports. And I'm just trying to kind of crank these out right now. And so I am going to stay up late tonight and do a report. And for that matter, while I'm on the topic, when I am done with my report, which is really going to be in the middle of the night, I am actually going to, even though I know I'm going to be tired, I am going to record a progressive muscle relaxation exercise in its entirety. They're long. And they're actually just as long as really the body scan. It's kind of the same concept, but it's tensing and releasing muscles. So that's going to be the mind-body practice that I do today, but it's going to be a separate video, and I'm going to post it in the middle of the night. So tonight what's on my mind is that I'm just kind of happy to be home. I spent most of the day in Baton Rouge today with my mother, and anybody who knows me or some stranger who might watch this, who might have seen some other videos, may know that my mother is an ongoing theme in my life and in these videos. And so I went to Baton Rouge today with a lot of trepidation because there's been a lot of stuff happening with her, and between she and I, we have a very complicated relationship. We'll go into detail about all that and bore people to tears, but it's a challenge, and lately it's been a real challenge, particularly since November or so. Well, we've had a couple of pretty major events happen in her world, and I've had to work really, really hard on setting boundaries with her and practicing my boundaries, like really with intention. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I've done a good job with that. Today, though, was tough because I felt it was my idea to go visit. There's been some tension, but I wanted to try to do the right thing. My mother has chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which means her breathing is extraordinarily compromised, and she's generally not in the best of health, and so those folks are the ones at the most risk right now for this COVID-19. And so I wanted to make sure, even though she kept telling me very curtly that she had everything she needed, I felt compelled to go see her and make sure she had everything she needed. I was going to also encourage her to kind of self-quarantine, to take care of herself. She's working on wrapping up her law practice, which could have happened a while back, but is happening soon. She's in some real serious life transition, but she's still working in this office building, and I just really didn't, I have great concerns about her doing that right now because of this virus. So I went there today. My brother came along with me, my son came along with me, and we went there, and I was thinking there was going to be some conflict. And as it turns out, there was no conflict. And, I felt really good and purposeful about being there. As it turned out, of course, that she did not have enough by any stretch of the things she needed at home. We made plans for how she was going to get her prescriptions delivered to her starting this week. Talked about really try to encourage her to work from home. She is stubborn and dismissive that this is any kind of serious issue. She's certainly educated and informed, but denial is definitely her best coping skill. So we can only do so much, but at least I left there, and I did leave without apology. I left when it was time to leave, when we had lunch. We had a nice lunch. My son did a bunch of work for her to kind of clean things up for her outside, and it was altogether positive. I think on some level, my leaving was not what, perhaps she had in mind, but I needed to leave for my own well-being. I have work to do here, and I want to, kind of circle the wagons with my own children at home. So I left. And so I guess my thoughts today, as I tell that story out into the ether for no one to hear, is just that, I'm going to be at peace tonight with how things are with her. And I am, today even, I was able to tap into some compassion, which for me, where my mother is concerned, is a not always an easy thing to tap into. And so I even left there thinking I would go back soon to make sure she continues to have what she needs, and to continue to help her through this kind of life transition that's happening. So today was really productive in that way, not work-wise, unfortunately, but in that sense. And so if my mother in her stubborn sense goes out and winds up with, God forbid, getting this horrible illness, I will know that the last time we had contact out in the world was a positive experience for both of us, I believe. And so I feel okay with that. I hope that she keeps herself healthy and starts to heed some of the warnings and all the advice that she's getting. So I feel good about that. I feel like my boundaries were strong, but at the same time, I showed compassion and love for her today. And tomorrow is another day. I'm going to add a song to my playlist that is really, really cheeky, and I'm not even going to name it here. I'm just gonna say, check my playlist. I have a playlist on YouTube that's right there on my channel, and I have a Spotify playlist. I believe the link for that is in the comments, I believe, in my video. It's on my Instagram, which is day12020. So I'm just not even going to name the song. I'm just going to throw it in my playlist because it is absolutely the perfect song for my mother on this day. And again, I'm going probably around 2 in the morning when I'm done with my work. I'm going to do a progressive muscle relaxation exercise and record that and post it. And then tomorrow I am going to allow myself to sleep late and then have a full day of work from home. So there we go. New times.